Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to try some more problems on implicit differentiation. This is part 6. Everything is in my playlist in order, and I hope you guys get a chance to watch all the videos, and some of these problems are going to be very simple. Some of them might be a little more challenging, but I hope you guys all understand, and let's try the problem. All right, this guy right here has a variable times a variable. So this is a product rule. In each one of these cases, I'm going to ask you to find dy dx. In this specific example, I'm going to ask you to find dy dx at this specified point, 2 comma pi over 3. All right, product rule, here we go. Keep the first. Do you guys know what the derivative of cosine angle is? It's negative sine angle. Then what do we do after that? We take the derivative of the angle. The derivative of y is dy dx, okay? So we kept the first, and then we took the derivative of the second, plus we're now gonna keep the second, which means we don't touch it whatsoever, and then we take the derivative of the first. The derivative of x is 1, and now you're done, and then what's the derivative of 1? 0. Great. This here can be negative x sine y dy dx. Remember, this is a product and not a subtraction sign. And this here is going to be plus cosine y equals 0. I'm going to subtract cosine y. And then I'm going to just divide by negative x sine y. And then that would leave me with this guy here. You can reduce this by doing plus and plus. Oh, guys, take a look. The angles are the same. So do you guys know what cosine y over sine y is? Yeah, it is cotangent y. The only reason we can do that is because it's cosine and sine that have the same angle. Therefore, I can make that cotan angle, and I leave the x on the bottom. That's how you clean that up. You put 2 and then pi over 3 in. So this is going to be at that point. You're going to get 2 on the bottom. Tangent of 60 degrees is going to be rad 3 over 1. And if you flip that, you get 1 over rad 3. And so you can rationalize it if you want to over there. But that should be the answer. Find dy dx. Perfect. This is just a sum or difference of 2. So it's just basic. There's no rules except for the power rule. Derivative of x squared is 2x. The derivative of y squared, 2y. Because it's a letter other than x, you got to do dy dx. The derivative of 16 is 0. I'm going to just move him here and then divide, right? I hope everybody can see that. Okay, and then we're going to have 2x over 2y equals dy dx, and then the 2's cancel out, and you have x over y equals dy dx. And that's it. If I'm going too fast, watch the same problem over and press pause and see if you guys can do it on your own. Okay, same thing here. X to the third, 3x squared. Y to the third, 3y squared, but because it's a letter other than x, we're going to go d, the letter dx, equals 8. And since each piece has a 3, you can get rid of it, or you can, because there's an equal sign, or you can divide later on. And so I'm going to have 3y squared dy dx is equal to negative 3x squared. When you divide, and to get your dy dx on one side, you get negative 3x squared over 3y squared, and the 3's cancel out. And so you are left with negative x squared over y squared. I think there's one more, maybe 2. Product rule, because they're stuck together. Product rule, they're stuck together. They're not separated by a plus or minus, okay? So they're stuck together. That guy is very simple, it's just 0. Product rule, I'm going to keep the first. The derivative of y is 1, but because it's a letter other than x, it's going to be 1 dy dx. Plus, now I'm going to keep the second, which is y, derivative of the first, which is 2x. When you keep a y, you don't put a dy dx with it. Now I'm on to the next guy. plus, keep the first, that's y squared, derivative of x is 1, plus keep the second, x, derivative of y squared, 2y, dy dx. And if you're going to clean this up, you have to collect terms. Anything that doesn't have a dy dx, that's him and him, bring it over to the other side. So what I'm going to do, especially for students who are very advanced with this stuff, is opposite sign, opposite sign. So it's going to be minus 2xy minus y squared. That's how you bring them to the other side, okay? And then this part here and this part here have a dy dx. So you factor out the dy dx, and you're left with x squared from this person, and you're left with a 2xy. In math, we put numbers first and then letters in alphabetical order. So I'm just going to divide by this, and now I'm done. I solved for dy dx. So I hope that